So hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. Just had an emergency delivery. Very important thing. Membership sheet's got to say a big thank you to our WoW DCG head honcho. That is Emma Martin, who's just brought these down. I tell you, I forget my head if it wasn't screwed on sometimes. It's still here. There you go. Look, she's here somewhere, hiding out of the way, out the side of the studio. Hi, welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live in the Full Speed Event Studios, or what is left of Studio 1, aka the old beer cellar studios. There's not a lot left, you can tell that all the tools are down, and we're all just in the middle of a refit. Really looking forward to getting this done and dusted in time for lots of work with the UCI, including the BMX, which is really going to be very entertaining. A bit of a refurb going on before we head off to get some more events done. Now, we have, of course, one more event tonight. Tonight's Donny Chaingang, part of Nonna's March. The classics are well and truly underway, and it's going to be an absolute belter this weekend because it is, of course, the Tour of Flanders. I know loads of riders from the Stellaton are over there now in preparation. And guys, if you're watching when you're out there, what are you doing watching? Get on those birds, get on to the climbs, and enjoy riding out there. I'm not sure that's right, enjoy is the right word for this course, but there you go. So we are going to be heading on our own mini classic because Scotland has fast become a classic course for us. Our riders are lining up. Let's show you where they're heading out on the ride first of all. And who is going to be in charge? Well, no surprises there really. It is Russ, our yellow beacon. Russ Downing, of course, of Downing Cycling, multi-time national champion. Don't forget, if you want to actually go ride for a spin with Russ, you may be lucky and catch him on one of the in real life DCG rides, which have been launched out there. The dates up on the Facebook page today. Now, our route today is Lock Loop. It is a 50k route in total. The key numbers that you need to know: we are going to do 6 laps of 8 kilometers. That means we're going to do 48k. The Lock Loop Arch should be our start finish point, and we should do a total of 426 meters. So should be at 48k. Now, they are 8k loops, and there is some debate as to whether or not the lead-in is actually 0.0. So we will see when we get out there and ride on it. The man who is calling the shots is Russ, the man who is going to be picking up the pieces. Afterwards, for those who do get shot out the back, will be Chris Ball. Good to have Chris back on once again. I know Chris in action at the previous weekend supporting riders. He's doing the same again tonight. It's great to have Chris in with us. And this is not the easiest of routes, given that we are going to cover 426 metres. This is not one big climb, as most people will know if they've ridden on the platform, that you'll know that we have basically no flat on this route. It is always either up or down, and it is very much the case that we're either accelerating or we decelerate, and that makes control very, very difficult as the group. So really, really key tonight, guys. Make sure you get on there and get it ridden, and make sure that you stay together with our yellow beacon. That's all we ask. Stay with that yellow beacon. Now, as part of the month of Nonna's Classics, we've been giving the members of the DCG gang, that's the members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, some great support from Nonnas. We always have discounts from the guys up here. So OTE with 20% discount for the members, 1080 with some fantastic discounts, some absolute spectacular prices on Oakleys, and lots of kit. Continental giving away well over £1,000 worth of tyres and bottles to people. Velaskin with 20% off. Halo with 10%. Gritty, of course, the sustainable sports apparel. Not just supporting the Chaingang, but also being out on the ride as well. They're going to be out and about at the National Mountain Bike Series, and you'll see them all over. So there's loads of different events. Make sure you go down, see the gang. But of course, it is known as on Exhall Road, and I think it's one of the real life rides. It's going to be going there, and as part of that, we are going to be doing a giveaway tonight. We've got 2 more giveaways to go out. £50 vouchers going out for the riders, and as you can see, the random number generator is already up and running. Our members are allocated a number. It's 1 rider, 1 prize, which means that our winners so far, that's Neil Kerry, Rob Wimble, and Simon, aka Sean, aka Simon Run It, are not eligible for the prize tonight. If we land on their numbers, then we will just roll the numbers again, roll the dice once again, until it comes out with a number that isn't. So, guys, make sure that you get in for April. We've got another great set of giveaways. We've got a great support from one of our regulars. So, guys, make sure that you jump in with them. So, it is a very, very key. Make sure, guys, that you join the gang. Without the support of the riders, we can't make this happen. Now, the ride just on its way out. So the lead coming from Russ. You can see Russ taking the group out from the pen. So let's dive in now with the riders on the gang. And let's see how everybody's doing getting out from those pens here live on the Donny Chaingang. And we'll be diving in with the riders, making sure that we cover everybody coming out and in through to the finish. So I think I'm going to just dive in with Neil from the Gritty gang from the Crosscast, just tucked in at the back of the group. Let's see if we can get out, make sure everybody's got out nice and safely. Let's jump in with our avatar, looking nice and lonely. That's always a good sign. Keith Richards just leaving the sign and leaving on his way out. And remember, it is going to be 6 laps to go when the riders hit the archway. Taylor still chasing at the moment. He's in and through the arch. Richards may well have to do a rejoin, about 25 seconds down. So Taylor and Taylor chasing. In fact, Chris Ball, our red beacon, just rolling at the back there just to try and make sure everybody gets in. Interesting to see, we've got Foxy on tonight. Foxy, one of the riders who is riding in yet another outfit. I tell you, this woman has more cycling kit than anyone I know. Out riding tonight, and Foxy from the Rave Squad riding last night as well on the very last WoW DCG of this season. Last Women Only Wednesdays. Thank you everybody who watched, supported, and has messaged about that. It's been an absolutely cracking season, and looking forward to that coming back. That is going to be obviously in the autumn. Now, Chris just making sure everybody's getting themselves back in. You can see the riders really having to push on here to get themselves into the group here. So the gang working its way in through Scotland once again. Fox is going to be our last rider on the road at the moment. So it looks like that group pretty much all together. So Russ just getting the message out. Make sure you can get everybody back in. I think our last rider on the road will be Foxy at the moment, doing nearly 4 watts per kilo at the moment on the chase of the group, on the run in at the moment. Just trying to get in touch with the back of that pack. Don't want to leave anybody behind on the very start here. Lots of raining thumbs up at the moment, raining ride-ons at the moment. Foxy puts the charge in to get in contact. And that gap currently sitting at 6-7 seconds. This is the difference between being in the group and not the back of that pack. Is tucked in up here. So I think Chris, having done one run up to the back of the group, may well be dropping back. So it looks like Simon Run It and Chris Ball just going to be heading the way back in. So the shout going out is, do you want to tow? And the answer is going to be yes. I don't think Fox is going to be able to talk at that kind of pace at the moment. Going to be trying to warm those legs up. Just taking a little bit of a look. I'm not sure whether we haven't got a drop out and a drop back in again, because I can't see Foxy now. So it looks like we've lost Foxy already. So shows the guys just waiting to go back out and back in again. So it looks like the rider off the back, not getting back in, and now out of the ride, which is unfortunate. Foxy across some of our regular riders. Just going to do a double check, not jumped in anywhere else. If you don't quite make it onto the gang on the way out, the line always pays to do a drop out and in. She's just jumped back into the group, so I think a drop out and in. Looks like the gang now going to be pushing back up to yellow. So Simon Run It, Keith Richardson, and Neil from the Gritty Stone going to be pushing the way back up and in. Good to see that we've got Man and Lloyd back in with us once again. Man back in on the Thursday on the Donny Chaingang. So Man becoming a bit of a regular here on the Donny Chaingang, which is great to see. So it looks like the group just starting to get themselves back in towards the pack. Simon on his way in here. One of our winners already on the Nonna's draw as we head in towards this section. So Simon really charging on here. You can see pushing those awards up at the moment. The good news is we don't go over the skirt tonight. We do not do any of those climbs that you did far too many times earlier on this season. So those riders who drop back just chasing back in to the group. Going to have a bit of work to do. Just going up into the mist at the moment, but you can see the beacon up in front. So Richardson and Runnit going to be charging the way back in. Neil from Gritty tucked in there as well. Looks like Greg Pillsworth nicely on the back in here. Let's take a look at Russ tucked in with the group. Russ, of course, in the Downing Cycling Coaching Works kit. A familiar figure to all of our riders. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up with Russ. It's at Bike Express. So it is, of course, going to be at Bikeflex at Russ Downing on social media. Make sure you give Russ and Downing Cycling a follow to keep up with everything that Russ is up to on the way through. Our riders just making the way in, and looks like Keith Richardson just coming in through the old ruins here, chasing the back wheel of Wallace at the moment. Now taking a little run through here. Jim Flynn nicely in this group. Fiona Booker back with us once again. Good to see Fee in here. Finn Davis as well, going to be working his way up, I'm sure, up near the front. Taylor in the group got back in. Ian Brooks in here. Looks like Gareth in as well. Nick McDermott. Wharfdale Phil, Jim pissing it in here. Mr. Ambler. Tim Baggs in the group as well. Vin Donahoe in here. And a massive thank you to Keith, to Vin and to Tracy, who've been doing a whole load of work on the in real life Donny Chaingangs that are going to be coming up over the summer. The dates are out. You can find those on the Facebook page. Make sure you dive on there and let the guys know when you can make it, when you can't, or whether you want to go, whether you're deciding that you're going to be washing your hair. Not an excuse that Finn's ever going to be able to use now on his way through. So the riders are on the way in around the loop at the moment. They're about to go into the far turn. We've got this long sweeping loop around at the moment, and then we'll be heading across and doing a sharp left in the amphitheatre and making our way back in towards the start loop again. So here we go on to this climb. 7% on this run in around these bends. So basically we climb up. You can see the village on the far side of the other side of the lock, and you can just see this long right hand turn now is the one that will lead our riders in towards that amphitheatre. Turn through the amphitheatre back out and then run down then into the castle with the spiral climb and the steep ascent in there. As you come in the opposite direction, this direction, it's going to be a steep descent. It's all going to be a whole lot of fun for the riders because very difficult to keep everybody together. So let's keep a check on them. Looking good at the moment, just in with John Dixon of Bolsover as he makes his way up and through. Quick reminder, if you are a member of the Donny Chaingang Sports Club, the DCG gang, and you are going to renew, please do so before the weekend. So let's sit down and write new members email. When that new members email comes out, it'll get automatically sent out to the members, and the aim is to send it to everybody by essentially about 20 clicks of buttons, not by writing it down. So really is key. Please, guys, get joined up early. Don't leave it to thelastminute.com. Get joined up early. Last month is going to be one of our key supporters returning, so please make sure you get signed up. Every little bit does help. It helps me have costs right the way through the year, from the start to the finish of the year. So really helpful, and it does offset some of the costs that we incur on the way through running the gang. So tonight it is going to be, we've had 3 members basically win already, so it's going to be the remaining 46 riders, 46 riders who are eligible to win this time around. They're the 46 people who have donated and given us the support on the way in and through, so really is key. Okay, heading in around the turn. This is the long drag up in towards the castle, and we'll drop back down and out. Just watching a certain Mr. Wallace on the way through. Very appropriate name for the a rider on the Chaingang in Scotland. You can see the Tartans with banners at the side there. So here we go, coming round, going to come in underneath the gateway arch, then we're going to quickly spiral our way down. Let's drop down in at the heels here of our Red Beacon group. Chris Ball and gang just working to try and get back into the pack at the moment. Looks like Claire Jessup and Mr. Worsdale. That is going to be Damien just squeezing on to get back into the pack. And this is the run down into that spiral descent, so you can just see taking this left hand turn on the way through here, and the spiral will be going underneath the road that we came in on. You can just see it going over the top of the riders now as we spiral down and out and into towards the run. Now, it really is key at the moment. These riders pushing nearly 4 watts per kilo are just getting distanced off the back here. So the group fracturing pretty early on that run in and out there. That's the gang just making its way out from the castle and then starting to head out and around the top. So just keeping a check on these riders, looking good in the Red Beacon group. So the gang looking good as they head out on to lap number 1. And to come around to complete lap number 1, just going to take the climb up here. And as I said, not much in the way of flat roads here today. It is definitely not one of the easiest routes. Now, just a quick reminder, we are on an update day today, major update going into Swiss, so wouldn't be surprised to see people with a few glitches. We have, of course, that late join for the first 30 minutes. You can see even our screens here are glitching. We have ridiculously fast processors as well as graphics rendering. However, it has to be said, even with all of that on the run, we are still fighting. We're getting some a little bit jumpy in the screens, and that's usually an indication that the update's still working its way through everybody's game's not everybody going to necessarily be on that, and that means that when it renders, it doesn't always render everybody in the right place at the right time. So just in with Chris at the moment from Remote CSC, just watching this group making the way in and along. Now, we've got 6 laps to do. We have a giveaway to get to as well on the way through. That giveaway is for members of the DCG gang, the people who basically make it possible for you to ride. That's kind of how it works, and for you to watch. So we are going to dive across, and I think what we'll do is, as we get our rider, whoever we're going to be following at the time, as they go in underneath the gantry, we're going to stop the numbers. Will do that as the riders go in and through. We'll try and find ourselves a Mr. Russ down to follow through. Not the easiest thing in the world with such a big and fast moving bunch at the moment. So we're going to dive in with Russ. Here we go. So we'll go over the top of the bunch. And Russ on his way. He's rolling in the pack. Let's pull up our giveaway screen here. Let's get the numbers rolling. You can see those numbers rolling up on your screen at the moment. So when we get to the point when Russ goes underneath the banner, we are going to hit the stop button. So it looks like Russ on his way in. It is going to be 5 to go. There we go. Stop the number. It's number 26. Number 26 is Mark Chamberlain. Mark Chamberlain. Mark, you are our winner of a £50 voucher. So Mark Chamberlain, a man who does absolutely bucket loads in terms of the website and a lot of the IT for us. So Mark Chamberlain, Mark, you are the next of our winners on the Nonnas giveaway. So we'll start the clock again. We'll stop it next time we come through to hit that lap marker on the way round. So next giveaway when we hit that lap marker once again. So let's keep our eye on Russ and the gang. Looks like the red bus just pulled everybody back in once again. Great work by Chris there. So our winners so far on the Nonnas month. Nonnas, of course, in Sheffield supporting the gang. Our first winner was Simon, aka Sean Runnett. The second winner, Neil Kerry. The third winner was Rob Wimble. The fourth winner, Mark Chamberlain. Congratulations, Mark. You have won £50 from the to spend at Nonnas. And I'm sure you know exactly what you probably want on the menu. Not all that far from the amazing place that is Nonnas. So fantastic stuff. Well done to Mark Chamberlain. So let's dive back in. Let's jump off the ride and head in. So here we go. In with Russ, diving down in with the gang coming in around the side of this section of fortifications. Heading down towards Glasgow and the crit course in Glasgow. Going to be taking that left-hand turn here. He gets to the base, this left-hand turn, then to the roundabout, and then straight on the way through the group. Just stretching a little bit there, but looking good at the moment. I think most of the riders all together. James Woodbridge. Hang on, my B-reel has gone off. Do you know half the people won't know what B-reel is? B-reel is supposedly an antidote to all of the fake media that is Instagram, TikTok, etc. Basically, you have to take a front and back facing shot on your camera when your B-reel alarm goes off and post it. You've got a couple of minutes to do it. In theory, you can't. You shouldn't be taking multiple pictures. You should just get the real one that happens. So really key to do that. Neil's just done his as well. So Neil from Gritty also just doing his B-reel. Funny, I believed any of you really had that. I know how much of a pain in the posterior it is when my daughter does it and has to keep up with it. So there you go. Right, on the way through. Russ leading the group in here. We're coming in towards the left-hand turn. Here we go, round that turn. And now heading alongside Glasgow out to the rider's right. You can just see Glasgow off to the side there. Looking forward to being up in Glasgow for the World Championships. Just getting the scheduling done. Looks like going to be at a number of those events on the way through the Glasgow World Championships. Also looking good for a number of other discipline World Championships and World Cups. So really looking forward to that. Brilliant to have all of the World Championships up there and lots on the way round. Crosscast Neil on B-Reel. I will have to find, I'll get Freya to check it out and see if it's for real, a B-Reel from Neil. Glad to see we've gone back to heart rate questions. James Woodbridge, I'll follow later. So Neil, of course, the host of the Crosscast, had the pleasure of being on and there right the way through with Neil. Looking forward to the next season coming up. Don't want to wish our lives away too much yet, so let's see how we go. Now, Ken Kerrigan got a dropout. We're just going to take a little bit of a check here on timings, but I think, Ken, you can come back in again. Ken, jump out, jump back in again, Ken. and get you back in. We did say, wouldn't surprise us, we saw a few people with issues today with a massive update that came through. It even took our system a little while to do the reboot and up again. We're on a Windows-based system. Don't forget, of course, Swift available on Windows, on iOS as well as on Android as well. So just keeping a check. Claire Jessup nicely tucked in here. Bishop in here, run it back in. Gang working well. Mr. Woodbridge, the social media fame, in here. You see James out enjoying himself, racing on the bike over the weekend. This group riding nice and smoothly, making the way around the course. We've had one lap down. We are on to lap number 2. We're heading on our outward leg. Go out and through. So at the moment, just riding in with Claire Jessup, one of our regular riders, a beacon as well on the WoW DCG and a regular on the Donny Chaingang as well. Group nicely tucked together. You can see mostly across the road, a few riders just at the back, just yo-yoing around the back of the group here. John Garford nicely tucked in that main pack though, Captain the same, Mick Clark in there, Dixon Moore, lots of our regulars. You've seen John Gale in there, Rich Langmead as well. Let's go take a little look at this little bunch who are just yo-yoing around at the back here. This is a tough section here because we're now going into the climb, and this is where we do expect to see a few riders get distance. It's this tough little roller coaster section coming in, and this is where having some strength index, some volume of riders at the back is really key to push the back of the group back up to the front. We're just starting to climb now. So the riders are just starting to ascend. We're in with our drone at the moment, and as you can see, the terrain really 7% is tough stuff coming up here. You can see that gradient against the riders. We're going to be going in through the archway in the background over the shoulder of Carl Johnson, the rider that we're watching at the moment. As you can see, we're coming around this long sweeping right hand turn. We'll line up for that arch, and you can see the gang at the moment just stretching a little bit here, and this is where it can fracture very easily indeed. The slope at the moment 4% as we come up. Now this has been a finish line in the past, it's not a finish line this ride. Really key here to keep squeezing your way in. This is where if you're at the back of that group, it's really key to get it in there, because the moment it starts going downhill, this group will open up very fast. So the ganging and through, look at that, that's brilliant to see. Just looks like that's going to be Mr. Richardson just at the back. We know that he's more than fast enough to get himself back into that group. So the riders on the way in, and we're going to be dropping down pretty quickly. 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. That gradient increase to 5%. The speed is going to be flying down here. So the riders on the descent, making the way in around. Going to be taking that right bend here, straight across, no turning left over the cut across, no taking that little section. Yeah, 220 minus your age. I'm looking at the heart rate chart about. It's individual, it's personal, it certainly is. 220 minus your age is about as rough a guide as you can get. Okay, little kicker coming in as we come away from that T-junction. This is the rise up now to head back up towards the castle and the spiral turn. Just sitting with Carl on the way through. So just watching Carl coming in this ascent, definitely tough stuff. You can just see it fracturing a little bit at the back of the group. We're going to run our way down. I think Russ actually sitting at the back of the pack at the moment with our red beacon here, just keeping everything in check at the moment. So here we go. So the riders coming in through the archway at the moment underneath. The riders is the road they'll be going on the way back out again. You can see taking that left hand sweeping turn. We'll get our helicopter back up in the air if we can. So you can see this group coming round, a great view of the riders making that turn. Just fracturing here between the front and back of the group as we went over the top here. Back down through the tunnels we go. So up on to the climb out we go. 3%, 4% gradient and increasing. Just running in with Russ at the moment. Our yellow beacon. We can drop in with our red beacon. Nice to have our red beacon visible to us today. It doesn't always happen for us when we're watching on commentary. Sometimes we're not able to bring you that chevron over the top, but certainly can today. So time to tell you a few of the bits and pieces coming up. Don't forget, of course, we have got next week the 1st of April. Last month, rides on the DCG. That's on Tuesday and Thursday. No WoW DCG now till the autumn. With the exception, there may well be 1 or 2 pop-up events if you're watching that Facebook page for those. Don't forget, of course, that there is lots going on. Russ will be out and about on rides. Russ and Dean both riding the Lincoln Sportive. So joining Gary Coltman and co there, and going to be on the Lincoln Sportive. So your chance to go ride with them. And I think there's a discount for gang members as well. So you can quote that if you look for the post on the Facebook page of the Donny Chaingang. Don't forget, of course, that you can keep up with Russ and Dean on the @Downing Cycling social media feeds, and of course, you can keep up with us in the commentary and in the studio. That's really easy. It's called @Full Speed Events. You can follow me. It's @MattFixPain, and you can follow us @Full Speed Events, and of course @Biking Emma as well. Lots of riding, lots of commentary coming up. We are also going to be hosting some real life rides on the way through, and you never know, you may well see us on your way around one of the routes on the in real life DCG if we are around in the right kind of place and we're not live in the studio to something else. A regular workday, unfortunately for us, every Sunday, a Sunday Race Club. More esports cycling, one of our regular gigs on there, and looks like that's going to be continuing for the next year as well. Really looking forward to that. Looking forward to watch people win $1 million worth of prizes. $1 million. Lots of money. Sadly, we can't win anything. Might even force me to come back. Right. A shout coming from Russ to keep everything tight. So let's jump in with Russ. Russ is about to head underneath the gantry. So let's do our next giveaway. Let's get the numbers up and rolling. Up on the board. Are we in through the gantry? We are. Better stop the clock quick. Can't stop it fast enough. Let's stop it as fast as we can. Okay, so we stopped it at. It's going to be... Well, look at that. It is 25. So 24... Keith Richardson, it's not you. Number 26, we just had this Mark Chamberlain. It's actually number 25, Lisa Jane Lake, a.k.a. Foxy. You've just won a £50 voucher for Nonnas. Congratulations. So Lisa Jane Lake, a.k.a. Foxy, and Mark Chamberlain are winners tonight from Nonnas. Fantastic stuff. Well done, guys. Brilliant to see, and I hope you really, really enjoy your prizes. So the winners there is going to be our 5 riders. So congratulations to Foxy, Lisa Jane Lake. Congratulations to Mark Chamberlain, to Neil Kerry, to Rob Wimble, and to Simon Shaw, aka Sean Runnett. That's put that in. So well done, guys. You've all got £50 voucher. Don't forget, of course, for members of the DCG gang, there is a discount code that is valid to the end of the month. So get yourselves booked in, get in touch with Stefano and Stefana and Maurizio. Thank you very, very much for your support. Nonna's absolutely superb. So well done, guys. Brilliant for the winners. And of course, don't forget 20% discount for members of the DCG gang. So if you get the email, you know how to claim it. Get yourself in there. Congratulations to our 5 winners. Thank you very much to Nonnas. I know that lots of our riders will go in and out all the way through the year. Really, really critical. So that we support the people who support the members of the DCG gang that allow us to say thank you to those riders. So a massive, massive, massive thank you to everyone. You can see them on the bottom of your screen there. To 1080, to Continental, to Velo Skin, to Halo, Nonna's, Gritty, and to OTE. Great atmosphere, great food to be had at Nonna's, and of course the rest of the supporters there looking after members of the DCG gang with discounts, big giveaways, great products, and really, really are in and looking after the gang. And many of them riding. We often see the riders from OTE on the gang. Ian Taylor, the regular, Shelley Childs on the gang, Chris and Andy from Velo Skin. We also see Annie and the gang from OTE, and of course Neil from Gritty is fairly regularly on the gang. In fact, tonight it is a numbers night, because tonight Neil from Gritty is on his 145th Chaingang tonight. We want to know what your numbers are. So for Neil, that is 145th Donny Chaingang tonight. He's done the maths, he's worked out. I should know that Neil would be on there. Tonight is 145. Absolutely brilliant stuff. What have you got? Current leader, current score on the Top Gear-esque scoreboard is Gareth Mason. Mason is at 162 at the moment. Minimum, in fact, it's 163 because he's on the ride tonight. So it's 163 plus for Gareth, and that's because those are the confirmed ones that he knows about. So we want to know, what have you done? How many chain gangs have you done? 163. I bet that's 163 actually, he's going to tell me. It's 163, there you go. So 163, really, really key. I'm liking the suggestion that price for the first person to do more DCG than the max heart rate. Well, that'll be Russ, won't it? There you go. Andy Hawes, yes. Just tell us the splits, Andy. We're including the early day meetups before the DCG was official, so the tests. So if you've done, like, you did 10 of the tests, you've done 150 rides, that's tell us that. Then if you've done some others, then let us know. Work it out, guys. Including before YouTube. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely. Let us know. Just put the splits in. So tell us what the total is on the Facebook page. So, my name's Matt. I've done 225 chain gangs. I've done 45. No, a bit more. Probably done about 60 women's chain gangs. Done everything. Tell us a lot. Tell us how many numbers you've done. Get everything in there. Really tell us. We want to know how, you know, tell us what's in there. Let us know. Anyone dropping for the plus 20 seconds group? Just going to roll our way back. We have got a red beacon group detached from the back of the pack. In fact, it looks like Forrester and Little at the moment just trying to chase the beacon. Yeah, not going to get them back alone. You're not wrong there, Neil. So Forrester working hard here, 2.6. So looks like Little just trying to roll back in. Here we go. Finn, no usual rules. It's got to be on Strava. Definitely not. I don't care whether it's on Strava or not. You tell us the numbers. We trust you. You're all in the gang. We'll know if you're giving us any BS. Don't worry. So Mr. Forrester, you are our target to get back on. Russ doesn't want to know. Now, Russ, do you know what? We don't need to know yours. Don't work it out. Everybody else. Right, so. Looks like Lindley coming back up for Little. Forrester currently on the back. He's our last rider in the group. Still working hard here at the moment, but he is currently Ooh, look at that. It's a fair distance off the front of the group. It's going to take some getting back on. So Neil dropping back to get Craig Forrester at the moment. Debian Warsdale 6 or 8 for him. Looks like Mr. Mason dropping back as well. So the figure just up in front of Craig is Neil. You can see Craig Forrester right behind him here. The two riders are going to get together, and it's going to be Dixon and Ball just in front. They're going to be the first of the breadcrumbs to come back in. Neil clearly feeling pretty strong today. Don't worry about Mr. Taylor, who's a bit further back. He's had a proper full monumental dropout. So it's Forrester and Crosscast Neil, the duo that are on the way. Breadcrumbs welcome, says the gang up in front, says the man that is Mr. Mason, who's on 163. So this is the chasing. We've got a bit of work to do to get back on again. The leader's already coming back out and on the return leg. But the more people that go back, the easier it is. I'll tell you something. If you had to put money on who would be going back, no prizes for guessing that this man will be there. Keith Richardson dropping back to help out, to give people a hand. John Dixon from Bolsover. So here we go. So Craig has got internet issues. So Craig, jump on board. You've got a train to get you back on board. Use that draft. It's going to be really key to make the most of it. Just up in front, you can see Chris Ball and Gareth Mason. This is going to make 6. So here we go. Chasing group. It's forming. They're on their way, heading for the yellow beacon. They've got the work cut out. They've got 30 seconds to make up at the moment. Now, what they've got to do is do this without blowing each other off the wheels. They want to try and keep this group together. You can just see the 6 riders at the moment. They need to take it to get everybody back on board without blowing anybody out the back, particularly anybody who's just gone back to help. So really key here is to go past this junction now. We're going to come in towards the rise. They are going to really have to fight to keep the group together at this stage, because this is where things get really, really tricky. So the red beacon group is currently the bus. It's an express bus. It's no stops till the back of the big yellow beacon pack. The question is, will they make it? Remember, the man that they're aiming for is Russ, the yellow beacon. Look at Mason at the moment, just powering his way up this ascent in to the castle. Remember, guys, the view that you want is, if you're on the front, is number 6. That's the view that looks back. If you're looking up the road, you're not going to see what you need. It is number 6. So they've got to keep this group together. Now Forrester just currently being detached on the group over the top. They've gone back for him. They need to keep an eye at the moment. Don't lose contact with the man you went back for, guys. He's just, as the saying go, he's behind you. So you can just see Forrester at the moment. I think has got a dropout here. So it looks like dropout. So he's got another dropout. Right. So leave me. Dropouts again. Here we go. So Neil, time to move on. Push on, mate. This is the group you're going to need to be with. This is the chasing group. They are going like stink at the moment to get back to the yellow beacon. They can see him in front. Forrester is now. Craig, you do have riders behind. Yeah, he's got a dropout. He's got tech issues. The power has all gone. He's paddling and going nowhere fast, as you can see. So leave Mr. Forrester. So here we go. They are trying to get back in. They're going to make this, I reckon. They're not all that far. At one stage, they were nearly 40 seconds down. They are currently 6 seconds from the yellow beacon. And more importantly, they can see him in front. We get our helicopter up. You can see them coming in. Here they come. They're going to make contact. So, Craig, jump in. You've got Mr. Taylor behind you. I think the pair of you are having equally as big a number of dropouts. Thank you very much. Well done, gang. That is brilliant, brilliant work. That's what we want to see on the Donny Chaingang. You can see that the riders went back. They couldn't help, so the gang back together again. Remember, we're going to come round for the end of lap number 3 very shortly. The riders on their way back in here, just following Mr. Wallace. So fantastic stuff. Well done, guys. Brilliant to see. Don't forget, of course, the gang are going to be coming out to you for 1 more month after today. At the end of today, we will have 1 month, 8 more rides. That is all that is left of the Donny Chaingang online this season. After tonight, that is going to mean that we are on countdown. Already into single digits of rides left on the Donny Chaingang. The WOW DCG coming to a close yesterday. The Donny Chaingang going to come to a close at the end of April. So that big group all together as they go in underneath the archway. They're now heading in. This is the run-in, remember, to the finish line. Chris Ball, ramp workout, Lord pulling his rocks off. That, welcome to being Red Beacon, mate. You know what it's like. I'll tell you something, that Red Beacon job is tough stuff. There are 2 ways to play it generally. Some people will go like an absolute loon, and some people will yo-yo backwards and forwards, and other people will just ride at a real slow pace and say, do you know what, I'm just going to sweep at the back. So, 3 laps to go. Our official, unofficial lap scorer not here. 3 laps left to go. In some ways, it's a lot easier when the trigger is pulled by Russ because everybody goes together now. Claire just squeezing into the back of that pack there. The group looking good. Tell you what, the Red Beacon's doing an amazing job. And a massive thank you to everybody who's volunteered. I'm not sure if Gail's got any slots left needing to fill. So really is key to get those done. And remember, of course, we're going to be bringing those routes out. I actually know where we're going, quite amazingly, for the next month. But I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you that? Neither's Russ. Members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, they get to find out at the start of the week every week. And they get the links, and they get the finish lines. They'll know what we're going to do for our last ride before the rest of you do. We've got some real crackers. Russ has put together a great package of rides for the very last month. Now, Tick Hill Saturday rides are on every week. They're at 1:30. That's not 130. They're at 1:30. The Tick Hill Saturday rides. Russ regularly on there. You can dive on those. See Russ out there. Don't forget, of course, Russ going to be at various places out and around with Bike Flex, with Pro Espresso Gang. Awesome. Thought there was some only, mate. We are. It's British summertime now. This is British summer. You know, the pouring down rain stuff that happened recently. This green and pleasant land is green for a reason, because it rains a lot. It's even greener in Ireland. It rains even more there. Statistical fact, not me just being prejudiced. Always love working and riding in Ireland. Very nice place to go. Great place to ride. Some great people. Great place to work on events as well. I'm looking forward to the cross coming in there. The World Cup cyclocross going back to Dublin once again. You hear Neil and my thoughts on the World Cup calendar and Dublin being in there for the new season, and that is on the Crosscast. You can download that on wherever you go and get your podcast from, whether that's Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, whatever you get on. However you get it, whatever your platform, you can pick up the Crosscast. Season 6 complete, quite amazingly. Okay. Currently at 43 minutes. The 43 minutes, gone is indeed. So Craig Forrester, sorry guys, close to drop out, don't think messages get through Craig. They are getting through the intermittently, and the guys have unfortunately left you for dead, mate. They've gone down the road. Don't worry about it, mate. They come through, they came back, and with that last drop out, they pushed on. But, mate, keep riding. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy Scotland, New World. A very fast and gamified world on Zwift. Built for the Esports World Championships. And to celebrate the fact that Scotland has got so many of the World Championships coming to the area. Officially, they're all in Glasgow, and the reality is, of course, that there isn't a downhill track in Glasgow, and also they're not going to use the Glasgow XC course, so the downhill will be at Fort William, the legendary mountain bike venue, and I think Dan Jarvis is going to be on the mic in the venue, which is going to be a blast, because I think it's likely to be Dan's last Fort William World Cup, in fact, World Cup on there. Going to focus on family and enjoying his time. Now, just seeing another of our riders just on his way out. Carl just jumping out. So, Carl, good luck in the race. Thanks for jumping in and joining us, and thanks for letting us know you're jumping off. It's going to be downhill in Fort William, and the cross country is going to be at Innerleithen at Glentress. So, we are going to have two very distant venues. It's a fair old drive from either, about 3 hours from Fort William to Glasgow, but for the legendary Fort William track, definitely worth it. Don't forget, you can watch it all. It will be coming out to you on the BBC. It will also be coming out on the UCI channel as well. There's lots of different disciplines, as well as the road, the track. We're going to have indoor cycling, so that covers cycle ball, it covers artistic cycling. We are going to also have BMX, so that is BMX race, BMX park, and BMX flatland as well. They're all going to be coming out to you. We're also going to see, of course, the XCC, the XCO, the downhill, and the XCM. So the disciplines that aren't there is probably quickest to say. You're not going to see the World Cup, the World Championship Cyclocross, that's in Tabor in 2024, and you're not going to see the XCE, that's the mountain bike eliminator. That is going to be in Palangkaraya in Indonesia, and that is on the 15th of October, if I remember correctly. There you go, your walking calendar for UCI events and dates. Right. So Claire just up saying not going to complete beyond this lap. Russ just Nessie spotting at the moment. I miss Nessie. Hello Nessie, where are you? There she is. Inflatable Nessie. Thought it was a gamification world, this one. So Claire going to drop out after this lap. So saying don't wait up. So here we go. The road is going up. So Claire out of the group saying don't wait, don't hang on for me. So thanks very much, Claire. We'll catch you Tuesday. John Gale, Chris Ball tucked in nicely at the back here with Wallace on this run in. Tom Lindley in here as well. Neil from Crosscast is going to be up at the Tap Nessie, so basically doing the full Loch Ness loop. Bit further north than Loch Lomond, isn't it, Neil? Just a little. Just a little bit. Like several hours. Right. Here we go. So the gang just getting a little strung out here. Just seeing a few gaps open. Jim Flynn just squeezing on here. Just seeing John Gale doing the same. Looks like Andy Hawes from Assos. The Pinarello ambassador just squeezing his way back into the group there as well. Good to have Andy back on the gang once again. His ears must have been burning today. Indeed, we're being talked about. In a good way, of course. Let's go see Beefy from Cycleways. Beefy just tucked in to the back of the route. Come on, squeeze on, fella. Let's go good to have Beefy on board the Cycleways man, making his way down. Cycleways, of course, looking after riders in the area. Local bike shop up there, and great to see Colin when we've seen him out in the cross on the local crosses. Have to say, definitely miss being at all of the live events. Now the National Mountain Bike Series has started with a cyclocross race in the section, of course, out at Tong on the motocross off-road circuits there. The riders out and taking on the tough course there. Chris, our red beacon, just out of the saddle, just in front of Beefy at the moment. Nick McDermott currently at the back of the group. I'm not sure whether Colin is staying in or jumping out of the ride. Colin, if you're listening, let us know. Let Chris know. Stick a message down quick. Are you staying or are you going? The message has gone out. Will there be a reply? Dum, 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 dum. Give us a wave. Are you stopping or are you going? Maybe the message board's not rolling for him. It wouldn't be the first time now. Bishop just being distanced as well. Killingsworth just off the back, and the go has gone. That is unfortunate timing. If you're off the back, it looks like Manon Lloyd on the chase back at the moment. So Manon now is going to have to get her skates on to get in here. The GCN rider being caught out here at 50 minutes. And you can see the power coming down, 6.8, 7.8. So Manon Lloyd putting 7 watts per kilo down there. I'm not going to say comfortably because that is a big number coming out. You can see he had now engaged that feather as well on this climb, trying to get in and across to that leading group. I'm sure I've just seen Jesse Yates in here, a regular winner when he comes on the gang. It is the one and only Jesse Yates. Could have Jesse on board. How have we missed you, Jesse? I tell you what, he's been riding in stealth kit. He's in that black today's plan kit. He's been stealthily hidden in the group there. Now, that's the man who... that lightning bolt, that could be a target on his back, because I tell you something, he is a man to watch when we come in to the finale. Really interesting to see that there's not been that usual explosion that we see at the front. Phil Oliver is actually leading this out at the moment and has got a little bit of a gap here, but we're not seeing an en masse response because it went on the run into this climb. Really, really interesting to see that it's still a big pack chase. Now, I think it's too far out and too much rolling terrain for anybody to go for an absolutely mad chase. Now, I think Tracy just making the back of this group here. Manon Lloyd tucked in with Vin Donahoe. Come on, Manon. There's a big kick coming from Manon. He needs to get back on before you come out from this bridge. You climb up through this bridge. This is key. Now, Chris Ball just starting the red bus. Let's see if Lloyd can keep in with this group. I think that massive kick to come in has dented those legs just a little bit. Remember, at the moment it starts going downhill, any of these gaps in here are going to break wide open. Just seen Andy Hawes tucked in here. He's not all that far from Foxy, one of our winners tonight. Andy just on that Pinarello bike, as you'd expect as a Pinarello ambassador. If you want any of the details, if you want to know how nice it is to ride, talk to Andy. Andy always willing to chat and talk bikes and bike kit. So as we come in and through, it is 2 laps to go, 2 laps left to go. We're just watching Andy Hawes as we come in and through 16k on the way through, and that should take, we are going to go just over that 48k marker, and that's because it's 8 laps. It's basically probably about 0.05, which is not enough, 0.404 maybe in the lap, so it adds up over the course of 8 laps. Now, Foxy in this group. Foxy, of course, one of our winners tonight. Lisa Chaingang winning a prize £50 voucher from the team at Nonnas. Foxy, when you're coming up, let us know. You're going up to go make the most of that voucher. I'm sure everyone will be glad to say hi and catch up. Now, groups spread out and across the road. So our red beacon group here with Chris Ball coming up with 2 laps to go. Neil from the crosscast from Gritty, just with a little group in front. That's the Bobby Mason, Perrin Booker group. Then 20 seconds on the road is the Andy Hall's Foxy Rave gang on the way through. Lloyd not all that far up with John Woodbridge for company in there, and Forbes a bit further up is this looks like this is going to be Vin and Tracy Vodka and Tonic along with John Gale in there. Further 13 seconds up the road, you can just see that looks like Gareth just fighting to get back onto the back of the main group. What's left of the main group, that is the Yellow Beacon group, who are currently on the run in towards Glasgow. You can see the high rise in the distance. So Russ tucked in to the back and heading in towards the main part of the city. We don't go into the city on this route. We're going to take the left-hand turn. I'll tell you something. It's moving. It doesn't look like it's moving as quick as maybe it is. We're still doing 45 kilometres an hour. But on a flat section, of course, it's not the aggressive racing we may be seeing. May well be that some of the big favourites are wanting to wait a little bit. Oh, and we got another move here now. Who's gone for this? Looks like Pillsworth has gone for it. Now, Lord Greg Pillsworth has gone to push up the pace here. It dropped right out. Who's going to respond? I think Russell Osmond's on the front of the group, but he's not putting massive watts per kilo out at the moment. And Pillsworth pushing the revs here, 110 revs per minute, just under 400 watts as it go down. So at the moment it is Greg Pillsworth who's leading this out. He's got a little gap, but look how fast this group came back. And they've not needed to put in too much power to do so, and that is just purely and simply because you've got that big momentum. This group is a fast moving group in that big size pack. They're going to carry that momentum onto the climb. Are we going to see a kick? Are we going to see a solo off from the front? Remember, Yates has a one on the Chaingang. Is he going to be able to take a victory here today? Next attack is gone off the front here. Looks like that's going to be Finn Davis, the youngster. Not going to be worried about taking any scouts. This young man, he's going to really go for it. We know Finn Davis is absolutely class on wheels, got great genetics. Just look up Davis and Alpine Stars, and then you'll find out exactly why. So on his way through, he's coming through. Greg Pillsworth saying, right, that's me, done my legs have shot. Russ is up there. Look, the miss just dropping down just to disguise that move. So Finn Davis, Russ Downing. At the moment, Russ supporting the youngster, just coming across there. Wallace, Osmond, Goddard, Campbell. Looks like Trenchard, Catlin, Samuel, Mason, Richardson. It looks like it is a real who's who. John Dixon in there from the Bolsover district. Jesse Yates in here. I'll tell you something, this is a class group. At the moment, it's pretty cagey. So they're looking to try and break clear a few riders, I think. If they don't get a few riders clear, they're not going to stay clear. Soloing away is a big ask, even with what is just over 1.5 laps to go. It's a big, big ask at this stage. Remember, we are about 10 kilometres now to the finish. 12 kilometres to the finish at the moment. 12k to the finish from where we are. And you should finish at about 48 kilometres exactly. It's going to be about 48.46, I reckon, by the time all the little discrepancies are ironed out for going around those turns. At the moment, this group definitely just watching each other. The odd speculative attack, the odd cheeky move. You've got to get the timing right now. Drag up in towards the hippodrome. Are we going to see a move? We are seeing a move here. I think we've seen Isaac Oliver going flying through the front. This young man, I tell you something, this young man is a commentator's gift because he is always on the attack. He's always looking to wind it up and look at Lindley and Downing. They know exactly why you don't let Isaac Oliver go. The Yombont crew rider currently up on the front. And look at this. If Lindley and Downing went across this, that would be a scary group. Looks like Yates and Davis are coming. Are we going to see an elite group of 5 riders clear? I think they're going to tow the back of the bunch back in here. That's not going to provoke the response that they wanted. Lindley has got the group clear. He's got the leaders to go in underneath the breakaway Bray banner here. So it is Lindley and Oliver on the front. Downing is not all that far behind here. You can see he's about to make contact. Mason is coming across the gap. Yates is on his wheel as well. Then it's Davis who has started this latest flurry. But behind, look how close all these riders are. This pack is not broken. It is not busted. This is on its way. And I think this is going to come back together. It's 16 seconds from Oliver to the pack. But we've still got a lap and a half, 1.5 laps of the lock loop still to go. Now, are we going to see a elite group? Really interested in this. The composition of this group, you've got Isaac Oliver regularly on the track. You've got the very experienced, for years of tender years, Tom Lindley in here, somebody who's grown up racing on the platform. You've got Gareth Mason, absolute superstar, one of the riders who has got more repeat wins than pretty much anybody else on here, regularly up in the mix, and you can't discount. You've got Jesse Yates in here, and we talk about Davis having good genetics. Does it get any better than the genetics from Sean Yates? Sean has watched the coverage before. If you're watching, Sean, great to have you on board. Hope you're enjoying watching Jesse in action on the Chaingang, and we, like you, are probably looking to see if he's got the lights today to take himself clear. He's going to be at solo to victory. Well, we'll see. You've got Russ down in this group as well, so we have got 5 very class riders in here. We've got Lindley, you've got Mason, the fat side, you've got Yates in here, you've got Oliver, and you've got Downing behind. The riders behind, they have the volume, they've got lots of riders. I'm not sure though, not sure whether or not they've got the firepower in here. Trenchard's in here, very quick rider. Mick Hawkins in here as well. You've got Russell Osborne, you've got Dick Samall. And I would suggest probably of all the riders in here, the rider who's missed the party, who's on the wrong side of that break, is the man who's now going to try and get back across. It's Davis. The gap is next to nothing here. That's the view behind Davis. This is the view in front. He's going to make contact. They're going to get pulled back, but are they going to kick again? Because it looks like that pack is back together. So that big group behind used strength of numbers to get back in touch, but they've not made the catch stick, because as we go into the ascent here, are we going to see a reshuffling of this group here? Are we going to see some of the riders going out? I'm not sure all of the riders in this leading group, in this big pack behind, are going to be able to sustain this pace on the way through. Nick Dermott, I think, starting to pay the price here. Dixon definitely having paid the price. He is in the group behind with Catlin, with Wilson in there. They're not in contact anymore. McDermott with Dick Samall at the moment are in trouble. They are off the back of a chasing group. So just taking a look at this leading group, it looks to me like that little ascent here. We've got a really fast move. So the leading group has changed composition. You've got Finn Davis, son of Tim. You've got Jesse Yates, son of Sean. You've got Russ Downing, the bear. You've got Isaac Oliver in here, your Bond Crew legend. You've got a real class group of riders. They keep on breaking clear. The man who's this time has missed the gap is the man mountain that is, of course, Gareth Mason, ex-Rugby International for Wales. You know, a man with an absolutely superb sporting pedigree. It's looking very, very tough on the way through. We've got 8K to go, sorry, on the way through. 1 lap to go when we hit the line. I shouldn't say how many laps. There'll be a few people having a heart attack on the way through. So at the moment, Russ going in through in the lead with 1 lap to go. He's got Jesse Yates on his wheel. With him is Isaac Oliver. Then comes Lindley. This course is causing all sorts of damage here. I think it's keeping everybody honest. You can't afford not to be in the leading group, because you are going to find yourself having to constantly chase. And all of the chasing is going to take its toll. We keep on seeing the shuffle after shuffle. It's like taking that pack of cards, shuffling them up, dealing 5 or 6 off the front, shuffling them again. When it becomes the right group, then it's going to go clear. I would suggest it maybe need 1 or 2 more riders in here So we've got Downing on the front in the grey and green. That's Russ there in that Downing Cycling Coaching Works kit. You've got Jesse Yates. Yates in the today's plan. Black kit with that red circle on the back. You've got Tom Lindley. Lindley in his traditional grey there with the pink across his back. Just coming across to the group comes Finn Davis. Davis off the front here. He's in the orange in that Yenzi shut up legs jersey there. So he is tucked in there quite nicely. But you can see Wallace has come back across. All of this group keeps on shuffling. It keeps on reforming. And this is going to make for a very interesting finale. Remember, we have still the majority of one lap to go. So Wallace has made the junction at the moment. Russ has to be working. I think everybody's basically can't talk. But Benedict Wallace at the moment is right in the mix. So Isaac Oliver, Jesse Yates, Finn Davis, Benedict Wallace, Tom Lindley and Russ Downing is now the composition of that group. Trying to bridge across comes Mason. He's broken clear of the chasers behind. Damien Warsdale, looks like Campbell in there. Campbell lifting that pace at the moment, trying to get back in touch. And I think that's going to be Campbell from the RAF CC. So Ewan Campbell, the RAF Cycling Association man, is the next rider to try and get across to the group on the rolling terrain here, trying to bridge across. He's got a big ass though, because the riders are coming across in ones and twos. The leading group at the moment are absolutely flying. Remember, at the moment we are making our way towards the Glasgow centre. We're going to take the left-hand turn before we turn in. And it looks like Russ will be the first rider to hit that junction. So instead of going straight into town here, we're going to turn left. There we go, turn left. As if by magic. That's magic, that is. Terrible Paul Daniels impression, Mr. Payne. Right. So, leading group up here. Currently 2 seconds to Campbell. Campbell 25 metres, if that, off the back of the pack. He should make contact. He's nearly into the slipstream. He's got 6 seconds on Mason, 2 seconds to Richardson, and the rest of this group. Warsdale, Pearson in there. Looks like Barker in there. It really is a class group, but they've got to make contact with this group. And this looks like it is going to be Ewan who's come across. Ewan Campbell on the wheel of Russ Downing now. So this is your leading group. So Finn Davis in the orange and the grey. You've got Campbell in the pink and blue. You've got Lindley, who we're watching with the pink and the grey with long blue socks on there. Out on the right-hand side, you can see Jesse Yates with the bike helmet in the black there. Tucked in very nicely indeed. Isaac Oliver is the rider on the pink Tron bike. So Isaac Oliver of the Yombont crew just tucked in here. You can see Isaac on that pink Tron bike there with the flat cap, probably Yorkshire attire there. Making his way through. It's actually more of a Baker's Boys cap, to be honest, than a flat cap, but there you go. Well, we maybe just adopt it for the Chaingang, why not? So here we go, leading a group now of 7 riders. These are your 7 riders. Oliver now pushing his way up towards the front. I'm not sure that was an attack, but more of a squeezing of the pace there by Isaac. We know he can put out bigger numbers than that. These riders are going to be outside and out of mind. They've got a chasing rider behind them. Looks like Finn Davis is the last in the group. Who's coming out of the mist? It's going to be Mason. Well, he's used to misty mountains down in Wales. He's currently lives on top of Box Hill, and at the moment, I think Mason is really kicking himself for not being in that leading group. He tried to go with one of the groups, the shuffling, and the composition of the group wasn't right when he was in there. It has reformed without him, and this time it is sticking. That gap is substantial round the corner. This is the leading group at the moment. And these 6 riders at the moment clear of Mason, clear of Richardson, of it looks like that is going to be Mick Hawkins, Pearson, Warsdale, Trenchard. Catlin is even further back behind that group. So this really is a chase now for the last half a lap, which will come. You can just see in the distance over the heads of the riders. The amphitheatre up there, and at the moment they are trying to close down on the leading group, or should I say on the leading rider, Russ, with the gap at the moment. The yellow beacon has gone clear. Russ has been in some winning form. Is he going to be able to ride this lot off his wheel? Yeah, it's going to be a big ask on this course. It's rolling, it's tough, it's just how Russ likes it. However, look how fast they've come across. It's going to be Lindley. He's going to be glued to the wheel of Downing here. He's going to go over the top of him, in fact, and he's got Isaac Oliver on there. And I saw the comment from Vin just saying they've been racing up at the coldest place, second coldest place on Earth. That is Darley Moor. Coldest place on Earth is Peel Park. That's its own climate, even colder than that of Darley Moor. At the moment, it's Oliver and Tom Lindley who are on the front, with Finn Davis right behind. So Finn just trying to close that gap down, and they're going to hit this gantry here. They know that they have got about 3k back in to the finish now. They've not got that far to go. This is going to be really interesting. Last 3k, 3 riders just clear of a chasing Jesse Yates, Russ Downing, and it's going to be the rider. I think it's going to be Finn Davis in there. So Finn Davis just tucked in at the moment in the lead. Then it's Downing, then it's Yates, and Wallace behind. Just going to take a look at Jesse Yates. He's going to take a run on. These 6 are going to come back together. 23 seconds. It's game over for the chasers now. So the riders behind, they are racing for 7th right the way down and through to what is going to be 14th position. So still respectable placing tonight, but I think realistically there's no way that the riders in the front should be caught now, unless they all stop for a quick pint on the way through. So here we go, on to the climb up. This is that long drag that takes us up onto the castle. Now we're seeing another move here. This is another squeeze coming, and this time it's Lindley who's put the pressure on. He's got a little bit of a gap in here. Here we go. So it is going to be Lindley who's squeezing in to the castle. It will start descending pretty quickly once you're in here. So currently at 1%, 0%, it's going to start going down pretty quick. He's just about got Isaac Oliver on the back wheel here. 6 seconds back, 7 now to Wallace, to Downing, to Davis and Yates at the moment. Jesse Yates is sitting at the back of that group. Whether or not that is because his legs have gone pop, I'm not so sure. Look at that big anvil being dropped in there. The anvil increasing the pace of the riders on that downhill section. Lindley using that to good effect, getting a micro rest, just able to stop pedaling, to stretch his legs out, to keep that momentum. You can see that Isaac Oliver has had to pedal his way right the way through there, and that has allowed Lindley a little bit of a rest, but neither rider can rest on their laurels at the moment, because they are at the moment being chased by some serious riders behind. So we've got Finn Davis in here. You've got Jesse Yates now coming through at some serious pace. We just saw his numbers go into the red. They're up into the red again. So Yates now in pursuit here, trying to close down. It's 8 seconds. Time is running out for these riders. So let's see where we're going to be. We are currently at 47.3. That should mean we have about 1k to go. You can just see on the map in front, we've got a left-hand turn, top right-hand side of your screen. We've got the long left-hand turn. It straightens, there's a kink, and then we go into the gantry just before the roundabout. It's halfway between the pens and the roundabout. These two riders have 4 seconds on Jesse Yates, who has tried to close them down. 7 seconds further back is Wallace, and it's another 2 seconds to Davis and to Downing. Russ saying that his legs had gone pop. Well, we will see. We've all heard that one before. I'm sure Sean watching at home has probably heard that a lot of times and doesn't believe it either. So, the moment it is going to be Lindley and Oliver. They're still holding that 4 seconds. Has Jesse Yates done all he can? Is this it? Is it game over? Has he capitulated? And we're going to see a pickup. Is he timing it right? Does he know he's got one more kick? He can see them in front. Is he going to want to just go blasting past them at the right moment? We've seen it happen in the Classics. It is Classic time, remember. It's Nonna's Classics, and we've got a classic DCG. 2 riders in front. Isaac Oliver opens up the power here. He doesn't want to get caught by Yates. Lindley does the same here. Lindley's coming at speed. They're going to be able to see the gantry. Lindley's gone over the top of Oliver. Lindley's going to take this. It's going to be Lindley who gets it. It's Tom Lindley who takes the win. It's Isaac Oliver who takes second. Jesse Yates is going to come through. Is he going to hold on for third place? He does. Then it's going to be Wallace coming through in a 4th position. Downing is going to be in 5th. Davis is going to be in 6th. The sprint is on behind because Campbell is opened up and he's got a gap on Warsdale. He's got to get to the line though. Damien Warsdale's coming up over the top here. So a fantastic finish in the front group. The second group is closer together here. Warsdale's trying to hold off Barker. Barker's gone over the top this time round. So Ian Barker is going to come through. He's going to hit the line. Barker comes in over the line there. Massive revs from him as he goes through. Then it's Warsdale in 8th. It's Pearson followed by Mason, Richardson, Trenchard, Campbell, Hawkins. Then it's going to be Russell Osman. The next rider in is going to round out the top 15 if he can stay clear of Greg Pilsworth. Pilsworth will sprint, but I don't think he's going to get there. So great riding by Tom Lindley, taking the victory from Isaac Oliver. A really tough course today. As Osman goes underneath the gantry, he's being chased to that line, but not caught by Greg Pilsworth. Lord Greg Pilsworth. He's got to be Catlin and Taylor. Then it's going to be Ambler and Run It, followed by McDermott. Or is it? I think Dixon's going to roll him. He is. So Dixon rolls McDermott there for the 21st and 22nd place. The next rider in will be Dick Samall. He's going to be our next rider in through the finish. And that is going to be our front 2 groups. So what was left of them in and over the line. Great ride there by the riders. Now, next rider's back. It's going to be Benny Moore. Benny has got a gap, but it's not a huge one. Darnley Moore's all about posting and Darnley Moore's all about pacing. That's what this was saying. No surprise Russ can't type straight. Now, Mr. Moore, solo sprint. Well, you've got Vin in the game behind. Solo sprint if you can manage it, buddy. Let's see if he can do that. It's about position, not pacing. It's about position, not posting. Yeah. So here we go. Best position to sprint from. Solo. It is going to be Benny. Well done, Benny. Keeps that all the way in underneath the gantry. Goes time to warm down. Next up will be Vodka, or will it? No, it's going to be Ian Brooks of Bolsover. Sneaky move that in. Nice move. Then it's going to be Vin Donohoe. Then it's going to be Chris from Rue Morgan. Then Tim Baggs. John Woodbridge going in with Foz Patterson and co. Tracy Seeley coming in through with Manon Lloyd. They're our first 2 female finishers here today. So well done, Manon. Well done, Tracy. We'll see you again next week, hopefully. And the Keyworth coming in. Looks like Gail in with that group. Foxy also coming in through the line. Congratulations, Foxy. Great to see Foxy in and through the line. We're going to try and get back to the finish line if we can. Mr. Wilson in and through. Dr. D, in fact, going to be the next rider approaching the line. That is going to be Rowan Dubash. Could see Rowan on the gang once again. Ian Brooks, he couldn't resist that. I'm not surprised. So Rowan Dubash going to be our next rider. He's got a decent sized gap actually on Andy Horse. Not like Andy to be riding solo. You want a bit of quiet, peace and quiet there, Andy. So Andy currently in the peace and quiet before he gets into the finish line. I'm sure there'll be more crowds out when we're racing in Glasgow for the World Championships. So here we go. It's going to be Rowan Dubash who comes in through past the pens. He's going to go in underneath the gantry. He's going to be our next finisher here today. He goes in underneath. It's going to be Andy Horse, then Wallace, Perrin, Booker, Dowtry, Mason group. Then I think we're going to see Neil along with McLaughlin and co. And then it's going to be Flynn and Ball are going to be our riders who are just behind. Rowan Dubash through the line. Andy Horse
on the climb up to the line. Andy, of course, making his way up there. The Pinarello and Ambassador, a man who's had the support, of course, of the team at 1080 as well. A Oakley fanatic, as everybody should be. Not in my opinion, of course, but, you know, I've been around a long time. I've used the brands have never been equalled. Now, let's see how we go. Just watching our riders on the way in. Andy in the run to the line. Fantastic stuff. Great to see Andy back with us. We'll catch you soon, Andy. Anyway, I need a chat. The gang coming in. Next up is going to be Wallace. So Nigel Wallace is going to be our next finisher. Congratulations to all our winners on the Nonnas giveaway. That is, of course, Simon aka Sean. It is going to be Neil Kerry. It is, of course, Rob Wimble, Mark Chamberlain, and Foxy, at least Jane Late. Congratulations, guys. Well done if you just crossed the line like Nick was coming in and through. Brett Dowtree on his way through. Good to see Brett on his way at the head of this group. You've got Fiona Booker, Bobby Mason, along with Tony Perrin. Now the riders coming through. A little bit of a sneaky move there by Booker, just going for the ghost there. Now Booker's bound to sprint. We know Booker, of course, on the podium at the mountain bike endurance. A great rider and very talented youngster. Not so young anymore. I'm allowed to say that. Fiona Semaine actually is my son, so goes in and through. So it is Booker, then it's Dowtree. Then it's Tony Perrin, good ride Tony. Bobby Mason coming through, good to see Bobby coming in and through once again. Nielsen, good to see Fiona up at Tong. So Fiona racing, riding up there. Now, next up is going to be the dynamic duo, the Batman of Robin. It is going to be Samuel Taylor and Neil Mansfield from Gritty from the Crosscast. So Neil in the black on the pink Tron bike. It's Samuel on a white and orange Canyon there at the side there. Just could be interested to see who fancies the sprint. Is Neil laying off, waiting to have a go? He said he was going to have an easy ride. Congratulations, Neil, on finishing another Donny Chaingang. Don't forget, guys, do the maths, add it up, work it out. Spend the weekend at it if you need to. Let us know how many you've done. Now Neil goes for the sprint. We can rely on Neil for a sprint. He's going on to Taylor's wheel here. Taylor is responding, though. I tell you something, Taylor is responding. Has Neil got the power? It's going to be very close as they come in to the line. Oh, and it's Mansfield who just gets it there from Samuel Taylor. Nice sprint there as they came in and through. Now, Chris McLaughlin going to be our next finisher coming in. Chris keeping those pedal revs nice and high, 95 revs per minute on the way in. So great to see Chris finishing his ride on the Chaingang. And it's not all that far back, if I'm brutally honest, to our red bus, which is Chris Ball and Jim Flynn on the way up here. So two of our real regulars on the Chaingang. Chris, good to see Chris coming back to his best form once again. I'm going to be really interested to see how Chris goes on this season. He's got a couple of targets that he's sneakily let on to people during the course of the chats on Facebook. You're going to see how it's going. Jim Flynn, of course, Jim, another of our regular riders. So let's jump in with Jim first of all. So Jim nicely tucked in here. Got his own private bus. I think that's almost chauffeur driven, mate, at this stage. So Jim in the blue, it's Chris Ball in, what else but the red of Red Beacon. They come around that right hand turn, they're going to see the gantry. They're going to be our last finishers here on the Donny Chaingang, on the last Donny Chaingang of March, the last of Nonna's March on the Chaingang. It's Ball and Flynn. It's not a type of paint, it is the two fastest finishers that are left on the course. It's Flynn and Ball coming through. Flynn taking that from Ball. He's pie hide on the Limoncellos, Matt. I wish I was. I tell you, Mr. Flynn might be. Right, that's our riders in and done. Our Beacon and gang going to be doing their warm down. And that means that I can run into some really important stuff. So don't forget, guys, the gang is only possible with your support, whether that's riding on it, whether that is viewing it, whether it is clicking on social media for Russ Downing, Downing Cycling, Pro Espresso, Full Speed Events, Matt Fixer Payne, Biking Emma. You can do that. Don't cost you a thing. Just give us a click, give us a follow, tell your friends, get as many people to click. The more social media we get, the better. It's great for us. Don't forget, of course, your donations are key. We have expenses and costs that are exclusive to the Chaingang. We do cover those. Russ and us at Full Speed Event here cover all those costs, but we need your help to do so. So if you have donated on the way through, whether that is informally or formally, thank you very much. Don't forget, of course, if you're a member of the DCG gang, get those memberships in if you haven't done so already for April, because we're going to be giving you those discounts from all the guys up there, all the support. We've got to say a massive thank you to Nonus, to Stefano, and to Maurizio, who have looked after everybody and will be looking after everyone. Congratulations to all of our winners, the 5 winners, and of course to everybody in the gang who's got that 20% discount to the end of the month. Make the most of it. Not long left now. And don't forget, support the people who support your sport. They're the guys over there. So from me, Matt Payne, please make sure that you give us a follow on social media. I will be back with Emma. We're on commentary duty this Sunday on Cycling Esports. Going out on the bike tomorrow. You might even see me suffering out to one of my regular cafe haunts on the way around. Of course, there's cafe and coffee. It's bike ride. Essential things. So I'm going to be out on the bike tomorrow. We're going to be on the commentary at the weekend. You can see all the details on the Full Speed Event social media. You'll see exactly what we're getting up to on the way around. I know Russ is probably going to be out at Tickle on Saturday. So please, guys, enjoy your riding. Come back to see us on Tuesday for a new month on the Donny Chaingang. So from me, Matt Payne, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.